Hello and welcome to my ugliest sketchbook ever. It's just covered in stickers and it's inspired by Miriam Tilson's videos about her daily doodle sketchbook series. The challenge is to just draw in it every single day, and to me, the only thing that makes it an ugly sketchbook is the fact that it's not full. There are two things that I do if I want my sketchbook to look aesthetically pleasing. One is to pack it full, make sure there's no empty, lonely spaces, and two, add a pop of color or contrast in some way, or even add text to make it kind of interesting to look at. And in this sketchbook, I did none of those things. So the spirit of this project as proposed by Miriam is that in her case, she's a professional artist and may not have a lot of time to do her own kind of stuff. I mean this in the best way possible, but I feel like nobody actually cares about what I'm doing. So I can just kind of do whatever I want all the time. And at the end of the day, I often don't feel like drawing. Maybe at 9 p.m. I'll remember that I was supposed to draw in the sketchbook and forget. So there's like a lot of randomness in here. I really wish I had used this technique more often, which is collage, because this is really fast, focal points and just like a few little things. But it looks like I did something. I really like to use these things as a journal and bad times. So yes, the one benefit I can think of for this project was to force yourself to evict all of the bad ideas or the undervalued ideas that come into your head before your inner editor and critic tells you that it's not worth exploring them. We were going on a little adventure to somebody's house, but she had these laser woodcut pieces that had such intricate patterns that I decided to do just like a rubbing on one of the pages. And this was a rubbing too. I just did this one day, and then when this came around, I used it as a background to draw this bird that we saw. I thought the Inktober style challenges would help me a little bit on these days, but I still failed. I don't know what it is. This one I really, really like. Like I said, contrast and fullness, and this is a really good example of what I mean. Even though all I did was just draw really crappy eyeballs, and then there's this guy like doing some sort of worshipping of a grub. Oh, at one point we went to a funeral, and this whole like area around the funeral went really downhill because I was starting to like get obsessed with existential feelings. I ended up rewatching, what is this, The Haunting of Hill House, which is always great when you just want to like sit around and cry all day. Just like cut out a human person and then and then put an animal head on them, and anything else I add to it, it just like creates this kind of story, and it makes it look like I was trying to do something, but like drawing something with detail takes time compared to just collaging things together. And I even kind of remember the struggle that I felt trying to fill these pages when I really didn't want to. Funny stories from my day. I would have forgotten that this had happened. or like to take notes. That's what sketchbooks are for. That's why I actually chose this style of book. It's like a day planner notebook. It's so thin that I wouldn't be able to use it at all without it completely ruining the next page. But this was actually perfect. It didn't bleed too badly. It took me like a whole year to work out this zine that I was trying to make, and I couldn't settle on a style of imagery that I wanted. You can kind of see me working through it in this sketchbook. And yes, if I missed a page or I thought maybe I would miss a page, I started drawing across the gutter. And it doesn't have that segmented look where it's just like drawing. I'm getting mad at this point. I love this page. I guess I really felt like drawing, and I put so much detail into this boring alleyway. Doing some like nice little color play mixing, and then I filled in the negative space with black to create these cat shapes, and it kind of looks like they belong together even though they have nothing to do with each other, and it's just because I crossed the gutter and added more contrast compared to this. It just keeps going. You working on that zine again? It took me so long to get confident enough to make the dang thing. And this looks like effort, but this is actually just a misprint that I stuck on and did some like found poetry. This is the only thing that I drew were these pink circles. I intentionally didn't revisit this sketchbook when I was done with it, so there's so much empty space. There's like a lot of pale, low contrast stuff in here. Watch me do this a year from now and I will slowly like fix this sketchbook, and you can see just like what you can do with an ugly sketchbook just by adding more contrast and filling spaces, but I don't think that I will. At this point I got sick, and this is like me in sort of a denial, and then my computer broke and I was just like spiraling, and it came out in my art, and then it became a place to vent, and I started drawing all these frogs screaming, and that kind of felt good. It felt like a nice little session at the end of the day to just and then this is like an acceptance, and then I stopped drawing angry frogs. Kind of just feel like making marks with paint markers, but I'm not doing anything good with them for sure. Cringe. Some mushroom textures. I did this the day that I found out that Mr. Beast and I have the same birthday. And I noticed that we both have dead eyes in all of our photos. And I wonder if people like automatically distrust me in the same way that I automatically distrust Mr. Beast because of his photos. Let me know. Did you know that the scientific word for American robin is Turdus migratorius? How embarrassing. Ooh, a loom. This is, I'm trying to work out a stupid bee painting because of a bee that kept visiting me every day in the spring. Here he goes. Good, good. Some more journaling, kinda. Oof. Big oof. I like pages like this where I'm kind of thumbnailing and working out ideas. This is a nice one. These are pages I did when I was camping, when I had nothing better to do but to draw stuff, and I ended up ripping this entire section out and then sewing it back in because I did not want to drag this entire book with me. Drawing all the fish. It just keeps going downhill. It's not good. Oh my god, and then I ended up missing the very last day, even though I knew it was the last day and I just forgot. So there's my ugly sketchbook. Unfinished, and just like the messiness of it all. These are my favorite kinds of sketchbooks. I bet if I went back and filled every single space something more high contrast like this, it'll look freaking amazing. So yeah, just don't give up on your saddest sketchbooks. Bye!